it's still genius.
Yeah.
Take a minute of your day to be nice to someone, you dumb son of a bitch. Oh, hey, this is... Purple rain, purple rain. I only want to see me beating the fuck out of that dumb son of a bitch Hulk Hogan underneath that purple rain.
That's what I mean. That just seems a little too like fucking out there. But then again, Iron Sheik is fucking out there, so.
The Louis Armstrong said, "What a wonderful world." Was he dumb? No good, motherfucker. He don't know shit.
What does that mean?
Load the fucking boat.
What'd you say?
Load the fucking boat.
Load the fucking boat.
That's it. That's the tweet. Quit playing games with my heart. I don't know the rest of the words to the song. I was more of an NSYNC fan anyway.
Oh man, what's so funny, real quick, is when I knew when we said the letter was Q off like camera, I was thinking quit playing games with my heart. That's
Dude,
funny.
I'm not gonna lie. That I was like looking at songs that began with Q, and not only did I not know half of those songs, I was like, I didn't even know if the Q word started the lyric. And then at the very bottom of the list, I saw "quit playing games." I was like, that's the only word. I'll quit. Good. Figured it out like an hour before this.
Well, anyway.
Anyway, hey guys. Y'all know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis feogrande on YouTube, Geotabi on Twitch, and occasionally, depending on how they feel that day, Pete on the show. And I am here once again with my boy Superjaz.
Wait, ooh, let me see. Wait, hold on, wait, real quick.
That's good.
Anyway, I got that from my mom actually one time. She did that how many years ago one time, like actually like, you know, like from the side of a wall, and actually did it really good. Anyway, like you said, my name, you can call me Jazz, Superjaz, SJ, JT, whatever you want, what have you in the like. And like we always say, this is like my dear friend just said, the Whatever We Want podcast, where we talk about whatever we want. We do not lead the conversation. We let the conversation lead us, and we let chips fall where they're made. And I'm not going to make a dumb, never-ending chip pun. There you go.
Yeah, the chips will fall where they may every Wednesday.
Now,
sir. All right, hey, what do you say, etc. Now, sir.
By the time this video comes out, the music video for All That Remains, the lead single off of the debut solo album by yours truly, My Secret Identity, All That Remains, official music video is up on Superjaz YouTube, Superjaz. Check that shit out. Anyway.
Need the Superjaz. I saw the teaser for that. Haven't watched the video. Looks interesting, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched the whole video yet. I'll get around to it, my bad. I was busy last weekend at this aired at CEO.
Okay. Anyway.
For people wondering at home, that is in 2 days.
Oh, right. We should.
That is in 2 days.
We should probably say what CEO is.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it is in 2 days. It should be fun. What it is? I've talked about it on
I
this
said what
channel.
it is. No, you're not win.
I
What?
play fighting games. I play a lot of fighting games, and Community Effort Orlando is a fighting game tournament that takes place in Orlando. Well, almost every year since 2010. It took place in Daytona those 2 years, but you get my point. In the area. Bottom line is, it's a fun time. I think around year 3 they started theming it after pro wrestling, and once it had that, it had its identity. It's just taken off since. It was canceled last year for obvious reasons.
Right.
And then delayed from this summer, because it usually takes place in the summer. It got delayed again for obvious reasons. And now it's this. All right, so it's the first time I'm going to CEO in December, and it's my first offline tournament in a year and a half.
That's what's up.
So, yeah. I don't know how I'm expected to do. I just hope I don't go winless.
I mean, I feel that. It's like I don't have to win the whole thing. I just don't want to not have one win. Oh, should have silenced my phone. My apologies.
Right. Apology? Oh.
Yeah.
Apology. No, I thought you had to silence my phone. My apologies. And I'm thinking, is that like Apple's emojis or something? Do they call them apologies? And I was like, what?
That actually really works though. Like APPLOJI or some shit.
Yeah.
Apology. Yeah. Or like Apple dash OJI.
Yeah. Okay. Or just a picture of an apple and OJI.
A picture of an apple what?
And then OJI. Right. Apple OG.
Right. Or like a lowercase I dash OJI, because apparently Apple.
I'm about to say Apple, like picture of an apple, OJ, lowercase like iconic I.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Hey, Apple, if for whatever reason you scoured the internet and somehow came across this video, we want our cut, man. We could take 1% of the earnings. I'd be okay with that.
That's what I'm about to say. It ain't even gotta be that big of one.
I could take 1% of whatever y'all get from that.
Just call it up and just when you got that money ready, just call me and say it's coming. Yeah, the money's coming.
Bro, will you turn off the Quiet Storm Keith Sweat voice? What are we doing?
That's not Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat's like, who can love you like me?
Never mind.
Who can love you like me? Who can lay your body down? Nobody, baby.
Wait. No, here you go. Let me stop. Keith Sweat, I'm joking. We love you.
I love that song.
Right.
It's the 90s. And you had the other chick in the song. I don't remember who she was, but I liked her. Her singing in that song, the other half of that song.
The 90s R&B is unmatched. I mean, obviously R&B throughout, several decades, but the 90s R&B is got its own thing, and that was the shit. And then, of course, we had the neo soul movement in the early, like, mid 2000s, and all that shit. The 2010s, not a whole lot of R&B really in the 2010s, man. Like, if you really think about that.
Nope. Unfortunately.
And I mean, I just realized that, like, I'm going down a whole random road of this. Did you have something that you probably wanted to, like? Okay,
just keep going. I'm excited because of this weekend, I guess, with the CEO thing. There's some people there that are gonna be there that I've not seen in like 2 years, so I'm looking to have some fun.
What you mean, like some of the fighting game celebrities and shit?
Not even the celebrities; they don't know me. I mean, people that I meet that I only really see at CEO. Just other people in the fighting game community, I guess, but I only see them at CEO, so I'm looking forward to seeing them again.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I would say what got you in the fighting games, but I feel like we already talked about that. That's what happens when you have 40 fucking episodes. By the way, 40 fucking episodes. 40 fucking episodes.
Who thought we'd get to 40?
Oh my! That actually really worked. Oh man.
40 episodes. Anyhow. Yeah, so what were you about to talk about? Because we started talking about R&B. I feel like we talked about the downfall of music as well.
I wasn't necessarily talking
where
about
you're
like
going to.
I wasn't gonna like straight up be like, you know, music these days is abomination on the earlobes of earlobes, eardrums,
earlobes of America. Back in my day, music made you lose control.
No, I wasn't gonna do that. Well, first of all, that's something we could talk about. I'm 30. You're
older than 30.
Date withheld. I mean not date, age withheld. Older, but you're older than me, and that would mean that we grew up and had a lot of our formative years in the 90s and in the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
So obviously now you get to an age where we're not like old, but we are old compared to younger people. There you're right. And it's one of them things where it's like, because I love music so much, period, whatever the fucking genre, I never wanted to be, and I try not to be, one of them people that just instantly condemns the music of today and doesn't even give it a try. If I hear it and I don't like it, okay, cool. But there's so many people out there that's like, I ain't even gonna listen to that. Like, you know, the amount of people like when we were younger that like when rap was like, we weren't there when rap first came out, obviously, but when rap was like, it did a lot of its molding and changing in the 90s and shit. And when it was doing all of that and like really starting to like be in its prime and like, you know, gestate and take its shape and shit. And then all the like, you know, the older people were like, rap, nah, that ain't nothing. Forget that rap. You ain't gonna do that. No, we're not rapping. Nah, what is this? And it's untalented. And I get some of that. I get where some of that is coming from. If you come up through not only when your childhood, your adolescence, and then majority of adulthood, and the only time that you would have anything like that in songs people would talk was when they had like a break for a second, but the majority of music across the whole like board was singing. And then all of a sudden, now here comes a whole thing where it's not what some people would probably consider, at least at that time, musical, because it's not a melody necessarily. It's more like talking. Okay, so I get why people would first of all be like, what is that? Get this shit out of here. And then secondly, when rap first started, definitely, and it's still very, very much to this day, rap is, a lot of the beats and shit are rooted in sampling. So that's one thing that my dad, for instance, being an old school musician, that's one thing that he has an issue with a lot of times is he feels like, he's like, man, y'all wouldn't even listen to these songs now, but then all of a sudden now when so-and-so takes it and he gets a sample beat and then he puts it to it, it's like, no wonder the song was good. It was a #1 hit when I was growing up. So of course, so I get it. I get part of that. It's like you're not singing, and then on top of the not singing, you took somebody else's song, quote unquote, and then you just flipped it. And I mean, I get it, but like I said, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I can kind of see where they're coming from. But I always said, to make it, you know, full circle, I never wanted to be and try not to be that kind of person when I got older, and as I am getting older, where I just instantly condemn the music, like the present day music, just because. I give a lot of music today a chance, and there's some shit I like. So a lot of it I don't like that is necessarily like current on the rap side. Like I wish I liked trap more than I do, and I genuinely mean that. But I give it a chance at least. So that's what I mean. So that's what I was saying, is like, to kind of go back to that, just kind of making me think, like, you know, the music girl today, it's like, No, I listened to a good amount of that shit. It's just some of it don't necessarily speak to me, and I wish it kind of did. But to make this kind of rant even a little longer, one thing I thought about too was, if you think about it, music in general is more so for young people, if you really think about it, because the music of the present day, for whatever that present time is, you know, in the past, or you know, now, or even in the future for that matter, music is for young people. Because when jazz, no pun intended, two Z's, first came out, a lot of people were saying, get this shit out of here. You know, this shit is like, there's no talent in this. You know, where's the structure to it? Because before that, there was like more so, I think, like big band music and classical before that and shit. So when jazz first came out, they were saying like, this is the detriment, shit like that. Like they even had the Looney Tunes episode with the bird, and he was going to school or whatever shit, and he wanted to play jazz, and his dad didn't want him to. I don't know if you know the episode, I Love to Singer, about the moon and
so
the
he
June
wanted
and
to sing, is what you're talking about. Because he loved to sing.
Right. He wanted to sing, right? He wanted to sing, but he wanted to sing jazz, and his dad didn't, and that was the whole thing. And then it's like, you know, now, and then it molded to what it did over the years, and then of course rap, and then now of course we're having issues with everybody saying what's going on. Like me, for instance, making my could be construed as old folky statement of there's no R&B today statement, and then of course people saying what the fuck is this trap shit, and then some people who say like there's no structure in EDM, because I've heard these things. So that's what I say. It's just interesting. That's why.
How did you feel about mumble rap?
Well, I was gonna say real quick. That's why, if you really think about it, I think music is for young people. But anyway, how do I feel about mumble rap? Mumble rap is trap. Mumble rap, I think, is just a little more of like a insulting way to describe trap music, to be honest with you.
No, there are some motherfuckers out there that literally don't fucking talk. I'm not talking about people who sound like they lazy, you know, and I don't mean lazy in a bad way, but, you know, like where it could be construed as a mumble. Like, I don't necessarily like the song Panda, but I can still understand what he's saying.
Panda. Yeah,
I got broads in Atlanta. Panda. Huh?
I said that song grew on me. I didn't like this song when I first heard it.
Yeah, but I'm saying I can at least understand what you said. There are some people out there that are literally well, maybe not anymore, but there was a big period where they were literally just speaking gibberish, and I was like, what?
I mean, but that's the thing, like, because, you know, somebody could say the same thing about Mr. Loverman Shaba. Somebody could say the same thing about that. To be fair,
I understood what that was.
Bro, there's no way that you
Mr. Loverman Shaba. What are you talking about?
No, this is what I'm gonna say. There's no way you listen to All of It Wasn't Me and understood everything that Shaggy was saying.
Oh, that song. I didn't know what you're talking about. Well, I thought you just literally said Mr. Loverman Shaba, and I was like...
I named two different songs, but what I was gonna say was, in the Shaba Rank song, there's no way that you heard the entire song and understood everything that he was saying.
I believe you. I didn't know you were talking about fucking Shaggy. I don't know that song.
No. It's two different songs.
I know now. I get your point that it's two separate songs. I never heard the second song. Or, not It Wasn't Me. I heard that one. Also, Mr. Boombastic.
Yeah. They call me Mr. Boombastic. Simply from Toastic. See, right? Mr.
Oh, that's an accent. It's just different.
Ah, that's fair. I'll give you that. That is actually fair.
Like,
that is, I don't know how well that works, but to an extent, that is an honestly good point, for real.
He might have laid some extra stuff onto the accent, but that was an accent. Like, he might have tried to accentuate it, like, oh, I got a character now, you know.
Yeah.
Romantic. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Right. You're right. No, Shaggy was a hard to understand dude. He was also not the norm.
That's true. Also, it was not as many quote unquote shaggies on the radio as it was like the quote unquote mumble rappers, I guess you could say. Like more people are doing that type of
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
No.
It's all, if it was actually just straight up gibberish, not just I don't understand the words because they're talking too fast or too muffled. It's just not that. Looking at this, and I think more because there were like even videos of like kids that were trying to like emulate it, and they were literally just yeah, yeah, and it's like he
That's
didn't
trap,
say
though,
anything,
honestly.
buddy. He didn't
trap.
say anything.
That's the trap style.
If he had the same rhythm, and I could understand what he was saying even a little, even if I don't understand the meaning of the lyrics, but I could hear what he was saying. That's what I'm saying is the difference. I'm not insulting all trap music. I'm not insulting music at all. Everyone's a better. You guys hear me sing at the beginning of each of these episodes. Clearly, I'm not musically inclined. So I'm not saying anything about anybody else's musical talents. But yeah, it was just some of the stuff. I was like, come on now, you make the rest of them look bad.
I mean, it's like that's why I say I think music is for the young people because those are the people who, at the moment, you're in your formative years, your prime, your growing days, so you're getting introduced to this shit because there's a lot of stuff when rap was changing in the mid 2000s, early 2000s when we were coming up, that a lot of motherfuckers who were even 5-10 years older than us were like, what in the fuck is this shit? Where, Nelly was doing his thing and fucking D for L, the Laffy Taffy, like shit like that. And I know for a fact, like some people were like, what the fuck is this shit? I thought that
song was bad, but I thought it was fucking hilarious. I was like, what the fuck? That I just pictured some old ass dude that ain't seen Laffy Taffy in years begging his ass off. Oh God, take that Laffy Taffy.
Some dude. Some older dudes they get like that where they
old dude at the strip club. God,
they be saying inappropriate shit to motherfucking like younger women and shit when they walk down the street. So he's like fucking like at the hangout, on the weekend or some shit, being like, oh, shake that Laffy Taffy. They like, ew, old man, ew.
Oh, you card.
Or like you said, at the strip club, and she's just like dancing in front of him.
What's up, like?
That's something that I'm glad did not necessarily catch on.
Candy girl, you are my world.
Why are you singing like that?
Oh, it looked like it was sounding like you were saying like Candy girl, and you're like, I'm glad that didn't catch on or whatever.
No, I'm talking about the voice though. Like, oh,
because we were talking about old people. Back in my day, hit him with the Deckard cane. Long ago, Diablo roamed the planet. Anyway,
back in my day, pussy only meant
stay a while and listen. One of the games I streamed recently, every time it had like some random like written note on the ground or narration that would... Oh, it was actually God of War 1 because there are certain times you can like look at stuff and it's just a description of what you're seeing. And whenever it was like something historical, I would just do that voice while I was streaming it as I was reading. Ares went to Sparta to summon the blah blah blah.
That's why man, you good at them voices, man. You good at them voices. I swear you were. Have you?
Hi.
How many times over your lifetime? Obviously, you wouldn't know an exact like amount if there is an amount in general. But how many times over your lifetime you sat back and really practiced the fucking voices, man?
Practice? Depending on what you mean by practice, 0. Like if you mean like hardcore, like a true professional of making voices would. Well, you get what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying. Like your Caliendos, your Jay black dude. I can't think of his last name off the top of my head.
Jay Farrow.
Yes, him. They literally like when you do Ari Spears or shit has a weird name. Think it begins with a G. Whatever. He's if you see the picture, you know who I'm talking about. It may not begin with a G, but he did like a Steve Harvey thing on the radio that they had a lot of clips on YouTube of him doing it. What? Oh, come on! What the? Anyway. Godfrey. Thank you. Maybe it's not a weird name, but it ain't a common one, and it began with a G.
Right. His Steve Harvey impression went viral as fuck. It was really
that guy. But and they say impression's the greatest form of flattery, and I've seen other impressionists say it. It's when you think about it, they have to practice that repeatedly, and that's true. And I don't know if I've ever gone that hardcore with it, but like some things, it's just through repetition or putting voices together, like with the chipmunk thing. I can't really do a good meat wad from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but I feel like everyone can kind of do a meat wad where they do this thing with their voice or something ish.
Okay.
So they have a little bit of that, but for the chipmunks, you take this and you turn it to pitch, and then you're like, "Gee, Dave, how you doing?"
What the? Okay.
It's that easy. Now, that kind of baffled me for years. I'm like, how do these chipmunk actors, like, get that voice down? And then I realized it. And it's just like, "Hey, Dave, how you doing today? What are we doing today? You know what we're doing today, Alvin. Shut the fuck up, Theodore. I was asking Dave."
You done that shit. With Alvin over here punking Theodore, which, I mean... It kind of happened in the show.
Damn well when they got older, Alvin was a fucking asshole as a teenager.
Alvin was an asshole. Simon was a nerdy ass bitch that probably ended up making a lot of money and getting a whole lot of just like ass and just like money like crazy. And Theodore was a scaredy cat.
Alvin's being mean again. Snitches get stitches, Theodore, like little bitches. Oh. Alvin, I don't see the correlation. You want some of this too?
Oh shit!
And I'm not gonna lie, it took that. I think that's the thing I've worked on the most, if you could say anything, working on it. And it's just repeated, trying to sound like something else, as opposed to. Oh, look at my Christopher Walken impression. I'm not even going to try it. That's how bad it is.
That's one where anytime you see an impressionist do someone like a Christopher Walken, which a good amount of impressionists do, that's one where it's a lot harder to do Christopher Walken impression right than you think. But the second somebody does it because it's so distinctive, when they get that shit on the money, that shit is so crazy.
Oh yeah, no, and that was one of the things I remember saying. I kind of semi addressed it on another episode where I was like, I was kind of jealous that I felt that I didn't really have an impressionable, like a distinct enough style / personality or delivery to things to be impersonated. You know what I mean? Because the fact that that you can do an impersonation of somebody and people know who that is, that says a lot to both that person getting that shit right and to the person that they're impersonating. Because it's like, I can see what you're doing. And there's two ways to do it. You can do the voice, which voice isn't that hard to emulate, but it's also mannerisms and stuff. But I think you in one of the rants about some shit that I do every week. In one of these episodes, I was like, I was literally just talking to someone about the fact that I don't think I, have a distinct style. And there was my boy Reggie, and he was like, no, it's something about your cadence. And like with the way you talk, I don't know how to say it, but there's definitely like a unique quality to you. Like the fact that you had your family on with like a mini family reunion thing, and you had your uncle on speaker. And I could tell he was related to you because of the way he talked. And there was a particular cadence to him. I was like, really? I'm like, oh, okay. And then like the next day we were recording, and then you'd said something, and I was like, fair enough. I guess if I'm looking at that, that is an Omari impersonation. But you've also known me for a long time.
Yeah,
a long time.
I've always been very good at if I was good. I'm not saying like I'm good at doing impressions. I'm not going to say that, but I've always been like if I was going to do an impression of someone, and I spent enough time around them, if I could do one that was like decent, I was always good at doing the mannerisms and maybe
That's
the
the
cadence,
other part. The mannerisms.
but I could never like get the tone down. I could never get the tone of people's voices down.
I can do exaggerated, clearly this is a parody of that person voices that I do that everyone's like, oh, that's close enough, but it doesn't literally sound like him. But when I mix in their mannerisms with it, then people look at it like, oh, that's definitely him and stuff like that. But it's just, again, they have distinct enough personalities, and it's just fun to do mannerisms. It's cool to try and be like other people.
What's one of your favorite like voices or whatever? Like, what's one of your favorite voices to do?
All right, so I just got done playing Final Fantasy IX.
Okay.
On stream / on my channel. I'll eventually upload the rest of the episodes from the streams because I wanted to finish the game fast enough for Geotabia War Month in October.
Okay.
So I had my whole idea was let me work on / improve / gain at all some voice acting skills by playing this game and doing as many voices as I could for people in the game.
Right, I remember you used to do that. You did that when me and Ibn,
because I used to do it when I was a kid, and I was like, let me do this in YouTube, and maybe starting episode 1 and the end, you can see like how I've come with voices, or I could see how I've come with voices over that time, if at all. Like, I'll just put that asterisk because I don't know. I'm not the best judge of my own voice. So
that's fair though.
Yeah, but so there were some voices that I obviously enjoyed doing more than others. Obviously, I enjoyed using my own voice because that was the easiest on my vocal cords. I was like, Zidane has my voice because he talks the most. And I'm gonna be smart about this. Even though my voice isn't necessarily a Zidane or Zidane voice. Dagger or any other female character, I wasn't going to be good with the voice. However, I'll go ahead, because obviously you hear this voice. Dagger, I had more of a... I'm Dagger. I am Princess Garnet Till Alexandros, Princess of Alexandria, blah, blah, blah. That was generally what her voice was. Steiner was fun. Because I talked real loud with my chest and said all my lines like, haha. Vivi was also fun because even though when I was younger, I don't remember what voice I used for him when I was younger, but I used it at the start of the run, and then halfway through I changed it when I started realizing about the chipmunk thing. And so, I'll take the chipmunk thing, but I lowered it a little bit because, Vivi's a kid and he's also not necessarily a human being. It's a thing he comes to touch with, throughout the whole thing. He was created. And he also gets to find out that he's gonna die soon. And that's not good. And so that was fun, doing that voice. Dr. Tot was a fun voice. It was fucking practically a Mario thing. Princess! And I rolled every R damn near that I could with the... yes, it's Princess Garretil Alexandros. Shit like that. I'm like, why am I rolling my R so much with this character? But it was fun. I'm Dr. Tot. And other stuff like that. But for other female characters, I think I took the Dagger voice and just raised or lowered the pitch. So Freya was like... And whenever I got ready to do Freya's voice, I would either to myself or whatever be like, Dagger, Freya, I'm Freya. So like, because she's a more mature woman and grown woman, or and serious. Dagger's serious enough, but she's not. I'm a hardened warrior from the Dragoon, squad in my kingdom. Right. That Freya is. But
That's
no.
some pretty creative shit, man. You've always been
Also, Amaranth had one of these voices. Because the character is such a fucking edgelord, let me tell you. It doesn't even hide. You're familiar with the term edgelord, right?
I was about to say, I've heard it. I forget what it means, but definitely
All right,
people who
so
know.
it's probably characters that sound like this. You're familiar with the concept of edge, right? Like a character being edgy, having a lot of edge. An edgelord is someone who is just reeking of the stereotype, for better or worse. You decide. If you like edgelords, you probably like it. If you don't, you're like, oh my god, I hate this guy. Look at this. But no, Amaranth literally had a line where the dade's like, I found out, that I met my father. Do you remember? What about you? What about your families? The first face I ever remember was the face of a man I had to fight.
God damn. What kind of I need a hug ass fucking shit is that? What the fuck?
And that's the best part of doing this fucking thing. So it was just fun doing that voice.
The first face I remember was the face of a man I had to fight.
That voice does fit.
I've been fighting ever since.
Does fit that.
I'm the flaming Amaranth. Who are you? What are you waiting for? Finish me off!
That kind of shit.
Oh wait, not that. Never. I just made that joke. I don't care.
No, that's funny.
If you were listening and weren't watching, then rewind. Anyway,
but no. So some of my favorite voices were Steiner, VV, because I felt like I could, and Amaranth, because I have a D&D character that I use that voice for. And yes, he is a stereotypical edgelord. He's on a vengeance quest because everyone in his family died except for his twin brother, and it's just him and his pet wolf named Slaughtertooth going out there.
That just sounds like fucking.
It sounds like someone's trying too hard to be cool, and that's exactly what I wanted it to be.
That sounds like some cliched ass shit. Like,
I'm gonna make an edgelord character. Well, when we did the Jujutsu Kaisen talk, we watched that, and I said there was a character with the demon dogs, and and the fact that in the dub he had one of those voices, and he's just like, and he was the edgelord like of the group, demon dogs. So I was like, oh my god, and I have a character with a pet wolf.
Right, but he was he was the brooding veteran student who was showing the new guy the ropes
because he's already had dead teammates and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if I can trust you.
Yeah, edgelord characters are fucking hilarious and awesome. You just gotta, if they're done right, they're hilarious and awesome. And it's a thin line, but when it works, it works. And they're also controversial, like, because some people like Amaranth. I found out recently a lot of people don't. I don't care. I think Amaranth's hilarious. He doesn't really do much. But that was a fun voice. VV's was fun because he got to emote. And while I suck at emoting with my own voice, being sad or whatever with the VV voice just seems to come easier. But I think it's also because of how innocent it sounds. So it's easier to be sad. Tiger's mother died on the beach that day. I didn't know what to do. Should I go over and comfort her? She seems so sad. Like,
now try saying that same sentence with the same emotion in your normal voice. Then.
Dagger's mom died on the beach that day. I don't remember what else I said, but I didn't know what to do. Could I? Well, I still sound like I'm putting on a voice. Should I?
A little bit. I wasn't gonna say it, but a little bit.
Yeah, I still sound like I'm putting on a voice. Speaking of anime,
it sounds like an anime backstory.
Final Fantasy was made by Japanese people.
No, but I mean the voice. The voice.
Oh yes.
Like the way
yes.
Like
there once was a man named. Now that's a fun voice to do. Just there once was a man named whatever. Blah blah blah. I'm going to talk like the announcer type thing.
That sounds like the announcer from DBZ.
What did I do for Quina? Well, at first for Quina, I was doing one of these voices. I'm Quina. I'm gonna do blah blah blah. But as the game went on, and given Quina's nature,
I decided to go for a more ambiguous voice, like the Boo voice. You know, Majin Boo done do that bad, so me quitter, me don't eat this. You don't eat frogs again? Why you no eat frogs? You know, shit like that. Quinta's all about eating, and he fucking loves, or she loves frogs. They love frogs. Yeah. Anyway. Yes, Quinta was a fun character to do as well. Like, the game was just fun. What was it? Regent shit. Oh no, Baku! Baku! Oh, the Tantalus crew, I think, had my favorite voices, because Baku was like, yeah, I'm Baku. I'm gonna do like this. It's kind of like a Hercule voice, but, you know, I'm gonna talk like this. What's up, Zidane? You gonna be an idiot? Now, come on now, Zidane. You gotta ask that question. What we doing today, boys? And then there was Senna. Senna was fun, too, because, you know, ever since I was a kid, these were the voices for fucking Baku and Senna. Senna just talked like this the whole time. Where's my Garnet doll? Oh no. You know, shit like that. Which, by the way, very fucking creepy considering Garnet's only 16. Anyway,
some of that shit gotta hurt your fucking like throat and shit.
Oh, Senna especially. Good thing he's not around that much. Baku, this is easier on my throat than you would think. It's definitely easier on it than Senna. It's like a halfway point between the two, because though my voice isn't necessarily deep, it's on the deeper side of the spectrum. Like, I believe in show choir and concert choir, I was like a baritone. So, it's on the lower end. So Baku, or Starter, or anybody else where I try to do my voice deep, that stuff always comes easier to me than anything that requires turning pitches up. Like, well, this I got used to, but I would still rather do this one. Or even, well, that's not too much lower, but you get my point. Well, then there's this one, you know, fucking Meat Wild, which anybody can do. Yeah, so to answer what voices I like doing a lot. Or hell, that voice I did earlier, I think I used it in no. Did I use it for Garland? No, I used something similar. No, for Garland, I used this voice. I am Garland. Kuja, you betrayed me for the last time. Shit like that. And Kuja, peace is but a shadow of death, longing for its distant past. Oh no, peace is but a shadow of death, dreaming to forget, or desperate to forget its dreadful past. Though we long for peaceful years, after shedding 1,000 tears, yesterday's sorrow solemnly nears. And while the moon still shines blue, by dawn it will turn to scarlet hue. Oh, Garnet, you and your summons will be mine. So shit like that. Kuja was fun. Actually, there was something that was voice acting related, and I needed to come up with a voice acting clip audition for on the spot. And so that was one of the things I did, because I was just like, I hadn't actually recorded this. Just like, record yourself, you know, doing a couple of voices of some lines. So I'm like, how do I show myself in various lines? I know. Pieces, but a shadow there. Now, I tell you, that is the most.
Can I ask what this was for, or is that like to?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It was months ago. It ain't work out. Whatever it was.
That happened. No, I was gonna say,
they didn't really
like,
have a description of what they wanted. They were just like, do some voices.
I mean, you good at doing voices, man. That's why when I needed, I had the idea for the intro on my album. That's why I came to you. One, because I thought it'd be cool as shit to get my best friend on it if he wanted to be part of it. But two, I was like, I had the idea of how I wanted to open the album. And I was thinking initially I was going to do like some epic voice, but then I was like, if I do this, one, it'll sound too much like Jazz trying to put on a voice. And then two, I knew that you were much better at doing them fucking voices than my ass anyway. So yeah. And you fucking held that shit down in the intro too. And I think it's cool as fuck that the first voice that you hear to open the album is not me. Like it's not it's someone else. And then we know it's you. So that's cool as shit.
Anytime, buddy.
Hell yeah, man. But no, I was saying like that's some creative shit. Like you've always been creative as fuck with that shit. What was I gonna say? Have you ever thought about
being a voice actor? Yes.
Yeah, I guess I'm like maybe drifting down. I guess I was drifting down that path. I realized
the answer is yes. That was also part of why I did the thing, like to develop voice acting skills and stuff. And at the very least, if there were things that I was like proud of from it, I could like take clips or whatever, or examples of me trying to act with a voice. I wish I could find the footage. My friend Vid used to have a charity stream he did where he would play through the Mother series, which is Mother and Earthbound, or Mother 2 as it's known in America. It's the game Ness and Lucas come from, or it's the series Ness and Lucas come from. But he used to have a 24-hour stream where he would play that for charity for 24 hours raising money. Called it Mother's Love. I wasn't really around for the first Mother's Love. The second one I came in between because it was filmed here, or it was streamed from here. So I would like go out there, help out, like come out, go to sleep, stuff like that. The third Mother's Love, or it's either the third or fourth Mother's Love, was also the last one that we ended up doing, or that I was part of. And Vid decided he was going to up himself. He was going to play through both. At first, it was just playing Earthbound 2. That one, he decided he's playing Mother 1 and Earthbound 2 in the one stream, back to back. We had less people tagging in to, keep the stream going, which means that I was more or less up for about, and it took way longer than 24 hours. It took about 36 hours.
Basically, you're saying less people tagging in, so you had to be the one to kind of.
Vid and I pretty much tried to tank that whole thing.
Y'all had to talk the whole time.
Yeah, Vid had fallen asleep at one point, and I was just like, "Hey, people in chat, I haven't actually played this game before. If y'all can help me, let's do this." So that was fun. But we would read out various voices in there, and in that one I was Pokey, the villain. He's like a fat kid, and I would always get into character whenever he show up because he's a little shithead. He's just like, "Hey, Ness, it's me, Pokey," and I do so and so. But at the end of the game, there's a big monologue he gives when you're fighting the final boss or whatever. And apparently, I was doing real well with that, and I got real into it. I wish I could find the footage, so I could emulate it, because I don't remember what I did. Because didn't have it. But as someone who's mainly done the majority of his acting on stage, something about having a live audience and just knowing I have an audience motivates me even more. So knowing that there were people watching and this is the final boss, you definitely gotta get into it. And so the stuff like that, so I would love to see that again, see if it was as good, if I did as good as I thought I did. Stuff like that, or as the people in the chat were saying I did. Also had a few things of fan art made off of me from people watching, like Omari. You've seen on my stream where I say Omarika. Yeah, that actually came from one of the Mother's Loves. The year before, I decided every time I'd be on camera, I'd have an American flag with me.
Okay.
And someone joked around, this guy really loves America. And then someone said Omarika, and Vid and everybody ran with it. And there was even like fan arts of Omarika and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, Omarika's a catchy term. I like that. I'm like, if I ever pick up on stream, I had said flag up in my room and apparently fell off the desk, but it's still in my room. But yeah, Omarika's an awesome term, and I'm like, if I get a big enough following and things, that's what my followers are going to be, Omarikans.
Your boy must be popular enough
All right.
to get like a decent like stream
I mean,
to
he frequented
stand up.
an Earthbound. Like we had like I think the most people we had watching at one point was like 24, which is still more than I've had on any of my streams. So I'm not dissing the number 24, but
Right.
he frequented an Earthbound forum. Like he had been part of that. Earthbound is his favorite game ever.
So
So
of
he
course they
was
flock.
playing, yeah. So he had been talking about it for a while, and by the fourth year, definitely having repeated it, we wanted to have a fifth one or another one after that. And I even talked to one of my bosses at the time because it seemed like it was a yearly thing, and I had him looking forward to it. I'm like, see, I'm trying to bring more people into this, but
That's dope.
it couldn't happen, and we haven't done it since that last one. And now he lives in Seattle.
You should, whether I know you're like you're still trying to get a lot of viewership or whatever, but since you're doing the Earth Day in 2021, just popped in Jazz's head. You should go ahead and on the very last one do a 24-hour stream.
I might have thought about something like that, especially because I'm going to have to cheat for the majority of December.
Oh,
because I'm gonna be out of town, so it'll be like some streams from my phone, like, "Yo, I'm on my vacation here. Let's talk about it." Still fucking counts, damn it.
holiday travels. You gonna be everywhere. You just talk about you about to be back in the STL, and then you said you're going all the way to fucking Texas for a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like you fucking.
Yeah, in Texas, I'll be there for like a fucking week.
Right.
So it's like
those, and that's like right when. First of all, congratulations on doing a stream every day up to this point. That's crazy.
The fact that we have like less than fucking 30 days left in it.
That's nuts. So then on top of that, yeah, now when you're reaching the home stretch, now you're getting to that point.
I got CEO like, Friday. Sorry, this weekend. I gotta stay before CEO. So I gotta, but like, that's also, at least if I wanted to stream from my phone at CEO, I can.
That'd be cool.
I have stuff to show. Really... But yeah, CEO is gonna be fun. And yeah, lots of fun in life. It's gonna be fun times.
Like I said, it's testing you because you're hitting the end of it, and it's just like, okay, so you made it this far. How far are you willing to go?
I think I said before, there ain't gonna be an Earth Day 2022. That's for sure.
2023.
If somehow my fan base grow, like, here's the thing, I would not have a problem streaming every day in the year if I could live off of it.
Fuck yeah.
And for the majority of this year, I didn't have a job. So the streaming every day was a way to try to capitalize on that, to see what could happen. Also to try to prove to myself whether or not I am entertaining. It was a weird kind of self-test, like, well, let's actually give this a shot for a whole year of consistent doing stuff and see how, if a following can grow, to prove to myself and or others whether or not I am entertaining. But it is what it is. Like, I'm still going to keep streaming next year, but between having that job, doing these episodes, and having between streaming, having a job at a call center, and doing these episodes, I'm at a point where I'm working 3 jobs, only one of which I get paid for. So I don't need that to be every day, because there are like Wednesdays and Fridays. Like, I woke up at like 7 this morning, and I don't usually wake up at 7 for work. And Fridays I also wake up extra early because I usually hang out with my friends Friday night. But it's like, well, these are early morning streams because it's the only time I can stream today, and I'm not trying to do that all next year too.
I guess you could call whatever we want somewhat job-ish, but because of the fact that we've been knowing each other like majority of our fucking lives, like, we don't have like a have to be here, this schedule, super structured shit and then like that. So
And don't get me wrong,
I
it's not
get it,
like I
man.
don't like doing any of these. It's
No, I know you
just
do. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's just the shadow of my computer or I'm just realizing like I've got black things across
I
my
don't see it.
eyes. Okay, it might just be like the lighting on the monitor I'm looking at. Just the colors are off. Yeah, you're right. I think on the other monitor it's fine. It might get darker if I turn my head with different shadowing. Anyway, I'm tripping. But yeah. So there's my answers with voices. You like doing different wait, yeah, you like doing oh back in the day I used to like singing like this. Fucking Satchmo ass shit.
I did.
Remember what I called into the Bia check-in?
That's a story for another time. Dead serious. We have to remember, even if it takes us a while to remember, we got to remember because we are winding down to the end. But that's a story for another time about when Omari, aka Pete, called into the Bia check-in. We'll tell you what the Bia check-in is, tell you him calling in and all the other stuff on another episode, maybe the next one, maybe down the line. But we coming up on the hour. So even if the story is not that epic or whatever, I think it's funny as shit. But and then this man is amazing at telling stories, so I would let him easily tell it. But all that being said, we got to end this now. So if you would like to follow your boy while he laughs, while he reminisces,
there's one clip in particular that I'm just playing it in my head right now. Keep talking, please.
If you would like to follow your boy, you can go ahead and search on Facebook and please give my page a like. That would be under the page Superjaz, which is spelled Superjaz. You can go ahead and follow me on Twitter, which would be Superjaz2. So that's Superjaz number 2. And you can go ahead and also find and follow me on Instagram, which would be under Forever Superjaz, the word forever spelled correctly. And of course, as I said, alluded to, talked about in the episode, I am an MC. I get my rap on from time to time. So anywhere you stream your music, you can go ahead and look for the album that I dropped on the 1st of October, My Secret Identity. And you might have to put in Superjaz, My Secret Identity, because I'm not that famous yet. My friend, where can they find you?
Who can find me in St. Louis? Eventually, this month, sometime, maybe. Anyway, you can also find me here every week, every Wednesday. You know how it is. I just like rolling R's in general. It's not just when I do Dr. Tot's voice. But every Wednesday, you can find me here. Also, you can find me elsewhere on YouTube at YouTube/feogrande. That's Feo Grande. See, I told you I like rolling the R's. There we go. You can also find me on twitch.tv/GioTavi. That's GIOTAVI. Streaming at least a little bit every day in 2021. It's almost over. Swing on by, see if you can catch it. I have a Twitch, or I've just talked about it. I have a Twitter of the same handle as the Twitch, GioTavi, GIOTAVI. There are no R's for me to roll in that word, or roll, if you will. Anyway, yeah, so that's where you can find me. I think I've said a lot. Said enough. Enough is enough.
All
Like
right.
chips enough.
Well,
if you know, you know.
Well, all that being said, all that being said, I believe this may be one of the only times where this may actually be a lie because of how the episode ended. I might actually know what the fuck we gonna talk about next time. But just in case I may have forgotten, maybe you can just refresh my memory. What the fuck are we gonna talk about next time?
Whatever we want.
Be nice to yourself, everybody.
Adios.